Do you say excuse me when you walk in front of what someone is looking at in the grocery store? I was taught growing up that it's rude to walk between someone and the products they're looking at without saying excuse me. But I find that amount of people who actually say it is maybe a bit under half. Do you say it? Is it being overly apologetic to say it? It's not apologetic. It's polite. I always go pardon and do this insanely awkward kinda quick crouch shuffle by. Every time. In my culture, you don't get between someone and that which they are examining without an apology for the interruption. In many cultures, that is no problem. So I try not to hold it against others. It's courteous. Shows you have some manners. From the Midwest, so 99% of the time it's a polite, spontaneous, ope. I say sorry as I walk through and I try doing it quickly. I attempt to walk behind them if possible. I always say either that or sorry. But no one else seems to. They don't say sorry for standing in front of something I need for several minutes or blocking the whole aisle either. I think most people of all ages are just rude. I physically can't not say sorry. I would feel like such an asshole. I only don't apologize if I'm squeezing by someone or in front of someone that has already expressed rudeness or entitlement towards me first by seeing they're in my way and not caring. I say it. Someone usually says, no problem. Yep, I do. It's not overly apologetic. It's acknowledging someone else's experience as a fellow store visitor. Canadian here. You both say sorry. You are apologizing for blocking their view of groceries and they are apologizing for taking too long to look at said groceries. Then you both say no worries and repeat the next time you walk past someone. I mean, if they're standing in such a way that the only way to get past them is to walk between them and the shelf, then why would I apologize for taking the only route they've left available to me? Manners go both ways. And people that have no awareness of other people around them and block paths are a serious pet peeve of mine. Whether it's the supermarket, pavement, or anywhere else. I do say sorry if that isn't the case though. Yes. Always. I don't worry about everyone else. Manners are free. I use mine everywhere. I don't. I say oop. Just gonna scooch on past you there. Yes. Yes. And most of the time I can avoid walking in front of them, so I do. Ope. I'm just gonna squeeze by ya. Always. I'm always polite to others in public spaces. It's just common decency. And if they're rude I kill them with kindness. Yes, of course. Common courtesy. I always say excuse me if I have to pass between a person and items they are looking at. Good manners. I don't know if you're far enough from the side of the aisle that there's room to walk between. There. You're camped out in the center of the aisle. Yes. It's called manners if you're walking in front of someone. It's considered rude. I always excuse myself just out of common courtesy. Of course. I do. It's just basic courtesy and politeness in my book. Always. I typically do, but I agree. I feel like about 3 out of 10 people do it to me. I never really thought about it before till now. Yes. I say excuse me. Pardon me. Yeah, I say it. It's kind of just a habit. I was in a ticket line in Europe and had some Russian dude just step in front of me when I got the front of the line. I just him a very loud excuse me, and the startled look on his face was priceless as I told him to get his ass to the back of the line. I'll stand by and give them a minute. If they don't move, I'll just bluntly ask, mind if I squeeze by ya? If it's not a lane blockage and I just need through, yes absolutely, I'll say pardon me. We're all trying to get the bread and milk. I'm Canadian. Hi. Excuse me for walking in front of you. Hello. Sorry for standing still in the lane. Sorry. Guy down the lane who noticed the awkward moment. I find it rude to stand such a distance away that someone has to walk between you and the product you want. Just take a step forward and get out of the way. Yes. Yes. Always. I'm so polite. I say excuse me. If I burp. Yep. Even if I'm by myself. It just happens. Damn it. Now I have to walk in between someone and the groceries and burp in his face. I say excuse me, and try to step behind them. Excuse me. Sorry. I just wanna grab, is my go-to. I always say something. Depending on the situation, it might be excuse me, or a quick sorry, or a can I just squeeze through there please, but I'll always say something. I'm not really apologizing though. More like I'm just acknowledging the situation. I'll typically say either, excuse me or pardon me. On days when my social anxiety is really bad, and I can't bring myself to talk to strangers, I'll just stand near them, not doing anything, like an idling video game character, hoping they realize they're in my way. I'm white, so I'm obligated to say just gonna sneak by ya. I'm from Texas, so I say excuse me even if people don't notice me. Always side on polite. It's so easy to be polite and some people may not care. But it could mean the world to others. Why not be nice? Yes, because I'm not a monster. In the country, yes. In the city, usually not. I do. I think it stems from when I was a kid, and if I bump into adults, my parents would make me apologize. I kind of feel rude nowadays if I don't at least acknowledge their person I've walked in front of. No. The people have to walk by in narrow aisles. I say pardon. So, kind of. I say it every time. I'm hyper aware of how people treat me in public. Like if they say have a good day to one person but not me. IDK. Little shit like that hurts my feelings. So I'm always ultra polite to other people. Well, I'm from the Midwest, so I say ope. Sorry, excuse me. Sorry. I work at a grocery store. While I really don't think it matters, as it's not really wrong either way. Some people are rude, others seem polite and considerate. I prefer to have customers who respect my space, more so than getting between what I'm peering at. I appreciate those who say something, whatever it may be, for the most part, as long as you aren't being a dick about it. Have had people shove my coworkers and exclaim, Jesus, are you just gonna stay in the way? Don't be that person. You'll deserve a thanks for being considerate. I honestly cannot think of a time I walked in front of someone who is looking at something in an aisle. Like, why wouldn't you walk from behind them? I'm going to guess you grew up in the Midwest. Ope. Sorry there. Yes. No. Because I don't squeeze front of them if they're standing in front of a shelf staring at products. When people say excuse me to me in a store, I assume they are politely wanting me to move or have a question. I say it for more than just the polite I'm sorry I stepped in front of you. I also say it many times as a heads up or please move out of the way.